And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Whew, hope you enjoyed that intense break. It was a little bit longer one, but welcome back, everyone, to the quarterfinals, the playoff here, the playoff bracket of the EWC DreamHack 2025 Road to EWC broadcast. And in the bottom corner, we have SHIN. In the top right, we do have Clem for Team Liquid. Let's go. Again, our players, they did need some time here to get ready to get set up, but now we have our final matches of the broadcast here tonight. We have 2 matches from the quarterfinals, and of course the remainder of the event will be taking place tomorrow. This is a 3-day event. Day 1 is done, day 2 is almost concluded, and day 3 will be tomorrow. And of course we'll be here on the CranKy Ducklings to bring that to you here and now, or at the time. So we're gonna be live tomorrow. We are going to be live tomorrow here with the final day of the broadcast. Of course, everything's going to be on the main stream, so we're just going to be going for the clean feed for the remainder of the event. But for the time being, we have our best of 5. Best of 5. If you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our best of 5. Oh boy, coming into this, I mean, we've seen these two face off many a time, especially when it comes to the online weekly tournaments. Clem, he does typically come in as the heavy favorite, but SHIN, I want to believe, can make him work for it. He has taken down Clem in the past. I want to believe he can do it again. Let's go. The pressure is on. As of now, we do have our openers. We do have a bit of a gasless or a delayed gas opener here out of SHIN. Interesting, going for a 15-15 late gas out of SHIN. Because the gas is so late by a Zerg player, we might see him going to Roach play and skip link speed entirely, as this is a bit of a greedier build from our Zerg player. Okay. Meanwhile, back at home, standard opener out of our Terran. Clem going for his own setup here back at home. Racks expand into standard opener. Also, again, just because it was so much downtime, a big shout out, thank you so much to QWERTY259. Thank you so much for the raid, sorry, for the Twitch Prime is what I meant to say. And also thank you so much Jay Paralyzed as well for the Twitch Prime. So thank you so much for all the support in the chat. Jay Paralyzed alongside QWERTY. Flipper Flapjack also gave 100 bits, and we also got a raid from Enki El Hermoso. Gracias, thank you so much El Hermoso for the raid. There was a lot going on during the downtime, so thank you so much. Of course, Enki, he is a fellow CranKy Duckling, and he does cast over in Spanish. Here estamos en inglés, no estamos en español, pero gracias nonetheless for the support, por el apoyo. Gracias. Como siempre. As for now, we do have our initial setup. Again, later gases out of SHIN. And you can see that SHIN is banking gas. What do you see? 144 gas for SHIN. We did mention that typically, because this gas was so late, you skip at link speed, and I assumed it was going to be for faster roaches, but that is a faster lair. Oh my god. So 2-base lair at a SHIN. Are we bold enough to go into 2-base muta? No, 2-base roach. 2-base roach. Again, the lair is already on the way. Sure, they will soon notice. Clem goes in. Clem does scout the Roach Warren, but he's going further. He does get further in. The Queens are unable to deny the scouts. Ooh, did we get eyes on the Roach Warren? Sorry, on their timing. We're checking, and ooh, barely not. So Clem, he barely did not see the lair. He only has a piece of the puzzle. For all he knows, it could just be roaches. We can see it's more sinister than that. From here, we can rush into early roach speed or even into a Nidus. Let's go. Clem looks so different. I know, right? He's getting old, but it's the mane. The mane has grown out. He's got luscious hair. It's crazy. It's getting wild. It's getting chaotic. Also, there we go. Sorry to just have layered music on. But here we go. Roach speed has begun, and I would imagine that SHIN is going to be going for a very strong roach timing with roach speed into an all-in. I would imagine. And again, SHIN is usually with these kind of builds where he's able to catch Clem off guard, catch him with his pants down. Let's get into the main base. It is going to be a 3cc 2-1-1 out of Clem. Working towards an earlier stim timing, working towards a heavier bio army. Basically, Clem, he only made 4 Hellions. He made 4 Hellions and add-on swapped from the factory into the racks for reactive marine production. So it's going into mass marine instead. Only 4 Hellions. And he does spot the roach initially, but doesn't see how many. Doesn't know how many moving out. And here we go. It's all or nothing. Shinny does rally across the map. Behind this, 7 more roaches on the way. He's droning. He's squeezing out a couple of workers here and there. Here, I thought playoffs would be tomorrow. I mean, the playoffs are tomorrow, but we still have 2 more matches today. 2 matches from the playoffs. As Hellies, they poke into the mineral line. Drone's going to be going down. He gets 1 drone so far. He gets 3. 3 workers already. Roaches, they will clean this up, but that's still going to be a nice amount of damage here, considering the Hellions that wouldn't get much more done against Mass Roach. And SHIN, he doesn't push, instead going for the Infestation Pit. Now, I'm leaning towards Infestors. I mean, this could just be a pit into a fast... Sorry, did I say Infestors? I said leaning towards... I meant to say leaning towards Swarm Host. This could just be for Infestors to support the army, or we could go into Swarm Host. Considering the game state, I can see either one being viable here. We'll see what SHIN goes for, but it's kind of like a shaky build, a shaky start, and we're kind of stumbling into the mid-game. Conversation done. What do we go for? Do we go for the Hive and Infestors? Okay, so safety Infestors alongside the Hive. With this Hive, if you recall, nice contamination on the factory. Very nicely done. But if you recall, we were casting Solar earlier, Solar versus Gumiho. And if you remember, I think it was on Ley Lines where we were discussing how Solar, he was going into a fast Hive and it did scream fast Ultra Tech. And I was referring to both SHIN and Solar and how they did enjoy going for this every now and then off of a Roach base opener. I'm leaning more towards that here as well. So we'll see if it's going to be for Ultras or not. I mean, it's only 1 Evo Chamber, only +1 carapace, there's no melee upgrades, so I'm not saying with confidence that it's going to be Ultras, but we've seen that before out of SHIN. As the Hive is almost done. Hive is almost complete. And we'll see if the Ultra Cavern is thrown down. For now, he's just trying to defend with Roach Ravager Infestor. As he's attempting to secure himself, spreading out more creep, connecting the bases. There we go, melee's on the way. Again, melee because the plan is for Ultras. Are we gonna get there? Clem moving in. Dustin forward. Shows Fungal. Nice Fungal. Very nice. Fungal does connect. The Bio Army is gonna be crumbling here. As he does save some of the Bio. There we go. There's the Ultra Cavern. And now I feel vindicated. If you remember, like I was talking about this setup and talking about this follow-up in the Solar series, and then Solar, he went for a Hydrogen into +1 range into Lurker, and I was like, oh, I guess never mind. It's like, I was like having this whole like discussion about like Ultras and the melee upgrades and the transition and about their fond of this, and it's like, I just went into Lurker tech. But here it is. Here are the Ultras, which is what we quite often see from SHIN. And sometimes from Solar as well. You could hear Diva in the background, by the way. Este Diva. As there we go, 4 Ultras in production. We have Katniss plating as well. Ooh, drop does get into the mineral line. Nice Fungal once again. See a very nice Fungal. Shuts down the Bio. SHIN, he's holding, he's defending, and he's making 5 Ultras. The drone count isn't really there, and bearing in mind the supply does lie. This is inflated supply because of the roaches. Actually, I just realized I didn't even... There's the word null in the minimap. That's true. I didn't notice that before. Might be a graphical error? Question mark? I'm not too sure. Despite that, SHIN, he's maxed. He's maxed now. The Ultras are still building up. Kind of plating is still not yet done. And here comes Clem. Clem's got 1/1 upgrades. He has his tanks, has his Bio. Ready to move out. At the same time, SHIN does hit the 3rd. Nice run by. SV's going to be going down. Ultras have arrived. Clem now aware of what's going on. And do we have a Fungal? Do we have an Infestor to move in? At the same time, Lings are trying to catch reinforcements. 17 SCV kills. That's a lot of SCVs. And now he does push forward, kind of waiting his down, but last he gets 2 tanks. Not bad. Takes down 2 tanks, it's okay. He does 9 mining at the 4th. Infestors the out of energy, there's no Fungals. But he does take down the tanks. Nicely done. Tanks are going down. SHIN, he's holding 30 SCV kills. Oh my god. 30 SCVs. Clem, he's running out of steam. Yeah, running out of steam. Now jumping into the main. SHIN trying to keep up. And so far he is keeping up, dropping back into the main base. A nice trading here against the drones, against the Lings as well, dropping back over towards the low ground. But here there are Infestors, there are Fungals. Speaking of, oh, ooh, does graze the army. Nice catch. Marines are going down, and Clem is in trouble. Clem is in trouble. His economy is crippled. Liberator does reposition. SHIN, he's maxed out, and now is the time. SHIN, send it, papi, send it. Get across the map. Ooh, as he will lose a base. Again, these drops are getting a lot done. And SHIN, can he break the natural? It's not about the third, it's not about the fourth, it's about the natural base instead. Here he comes, nice fungal. Yeah, locks down the army. Lings are flooding in, ultras as well. The army's getting tied up there with those roaches. But does push his way through. And can he get on top of that tank? As another base goes down, but at the same time 15 SCV kills. Again, Clem, he's being so annoying with these drops, but that's not winning in the wing. That's not winning the game. The glitch, the null is not there on mainstream. Oh, there you go. I guess it's just a clean feed thing. So now he's moving out. Does hit the planetary. Again, Clem, he can't afford to lose his space, and planetary is going to go down. Massive pickup. And Clem is all in. Clem at this point is all in. He's overstimmed. Medivacs are out of energy. Out of energy. Do we have a fungal? We do! Oh my god, another fungal! Yeah, chain fungal even! And that's the final army. The final army goes down. There's what, a handful of units remaining. Just a handful of Marines, handful of Marauders. Again, shit, Clem is being so annoying with this, still getting damaged. Gets a queen, gets a couple of drone kills. But there shouldn't be much here. Yeah, you can see the reaction on the player cams. Clem is not happy about this. He's trying to stabilize, trying to hold on, but even here, Lings, they get into the mineral line once again. Getting 7 more SCVs. And SHIN with a cheeky build. Again, remember, 2 base layer into roaches, into infestation, into fast ultras. Crazy. Safety infestors. The fungals have been cash money here for SHIN. They have been on point. And Clem, he may be the world champion, he may be the best player in the world, but even SHIN can threaten you. True, true. He's at that level. No one is safe from the SHIN. Yeah, there we go. Another massive fungal. Files on the Liberator. GG gets called, and SHIN, he takes the lead in the series. He takes game number 1. Whew, GG. GG well played. SHIN does take a lead. Again, a very intense game 1. Again, a very cheeky build, a very specialized build as well. Winding it back, if you remember, 2 base layer into roaches, into a later 3 base setup, and then into eventually Hive Tech rushing into ultras. Did get away with rushing into ultras. Again, the infestors, they were popping off as well. We had non-stop massive fungals like this fungal here, as you can see. We just kept seeing them left and right, looking down the army, and just buying on time for the ultras, for kind of splating. It was close though, it was still very close, still very clutch, but SHIN, he got away with it. And with that, SHIN takes the lead in the series. A very big win here for SHIN. Again, coming into this, Clem is the heavy favorite to win the entire tournament, I would say. So for SHIN to threaten him, for SHIN to cause an upset, that would be crazy. Now, already a great start for SHIN. I do still favor Clem coming into this, but a great start for SHIN nonetheless, and we'll see if he can continue with his success. Let's go. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I am ready for it. Here we go. As our players are getting ready for game number 2. Getting ready for that second game. As game 2 is going to be on Incorporeal. Okay, in the top left-hand corner, we have the French Terran player, the Red Terran for Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg for Weibo Gaming. It is SHIN. We got the fanfares going. Let's go. Here we go. Again, SHIN already with a crazy upset with a lead in the series. Bearing in mind, though, this is the best of 5. Game 1 is amazing, don't get me wrong. It's a strong start for SHIN, but can he keep this going? Can he keep this up? Can he maintain this momentum as we load into that second game? Now, remember, last game, SHIN did go for initially a gasless opener. He went for a very late first gas geyser, which eventually led into the 2-base layer. Meanwhile, a hatch gas pool. Ooh, standard opener out of SHIN. This time, he's not playing around with his gas timings. This time, he's not being cheeky. This time, standard opener out of our Zerg player. This time. The Clem is getting outplayed pretty hard. I would say a lot of it came down to the build. A lot of it came down to the build of choice. And a lot of it came down to what SHIN got away with when it came to the build itself as well. I mean, just to reiterate once again, like SHIN, he was able to get away with quite a lot of greed when it comes to rushing into his fast hive and rushing into fast ultras. Because the ultras arrived so quickly, that's why Clem had no answer to that. That's why there was no setup for any kind of ghost production. There were liberators towards the end of the game, but again, like they hit so quickly that in a standard game state, the Terran player doesn't really have access to something like ghosts or like liberators. It isn't really a thing. That's why it was quite greedy there by SHIN. It was very greedy and did get away with it. That was a crazy build. But we're not seeing it here. We're not seeing it in game number 2. Not yet. Reaper does poke in. Does threaten the natural. Likewise, behind this third CC for Starport, economic build here out of Clem. Also, as a reminder, last game it was a 2-1-1. It was a 3CC 2-1-1, which led into an early bio push, which is why he was shut down by the early infestors. Like, it all played into each other. As this is going to be 3CC 1-1-1. That is a starport, not a second Rax. So this is a different build from Clem. It is a different build. He's going for something a little bit more standard here. Much more standard. Which means he's going to have access to more Hellions this time. Last game was only 4. This time he should build up to 6, up to 8. You can also go in for an add-on swap into Banshee. And Banshees will keep you safe against Roach play. SHIN, he is known for roach play. I know that last game was a very specialized build, but coming into game number 2, so far no roaches yet. Not ruling them out though. Yeah, not ruling them out. We can still throw down another Warrior. Meanwhile, ooh, that is a sub 4-minute lair. Once again, very early lair at a SHIN. Not as fast as last game, but that is again, that's around 350. Jesus. Sorry, 350 lair timing. Now with a fast lair like this could be a Link Queen Nidus all in. I see a lot of Lings. I see more Queens on the way. I am leaning towards Link Queen Nidus play. You can see the Overlord is in position outside of the main. Yeah, that's a lot of Lings. It's either Nidus play or Drop Lords. But if this was Drop Lords, we'd see Overlord speed. Overlord speed would be on the way, and there is no speed, so it has to be Nidus. Here we go. It is on the way. There it is. There's that Nidus that we did mention. Again, like seeing all those things in Queens with a fast lair, it has to be Nidus. It's the only real option here, especially without any extra gas geysers. So SHIN is going for another, I say another all-in. He's going for an all-in. It's all or nothing. And so far, Clem is yet to piece it together. He has been denied the scout time and time again. The queen count has been high enough to zone away, but Hellions are going for the natural. Will he see? He will. Yeah, massive scout. He does spot the Nidus. He now knows what's going on. He shuts down the Lings. The queens are too far behind, and SHIN was out of position. At the same time, the Lings, they do flood across the map. They do not get into the lane, but they do get into the natural. SV is going to be going down. Clem does head behind the mineral line. Does head behind. And SHIN will clean this up at the same time. Nidus into the main. Oh my god. That does deny some of the add-ons. does delay some of the buildings. More SCV kills, insane damage, getting up to 19 workers, and now we have a backup Nidus in the main. Again, SHIN, he's still not done. He has done well quickly in the economy, but now he's going to go for the kill. Nidus will finish. Queen swap out. They can transfuse. They can, and they will. Okay, clutch transfuse. Overseer's on the way. More transfuse here on the Queens, keeping them up and running. Lings are coming from behind. They get us around. And the Overseer has arrived. Ooh, Banshee falls. GG gets called, and SHIN, he will take a 2-0 lead. Once again, catching Clem with his pants down. Mate. Will he knock Clem out of the tournament? Remember, this is single elimination. This is single elimination. There's no lower bracket. There's no safety net here. SHIN, the upset. He might do it. Oh, boy. Not like this, Pappy. Not like not like this. Again, cheeky builds out of SHIN. Game 1 going 2-base layer into fast roaches into an insanely fast hive into ultra rush. Here, what do we see instead? Link Queen Nidus all in. Link Queen Nidus all in, harnessing his inner Dark. Dark, he used to be very fond of this build in ZVT. We've even seen Dark take down Clem doing this build in the past. If Dark's done it, SHIN taking on that mantle, doing it himself as well. We've been discussing about how right now there's been what feels like almost like a power vacuum when it comes to the Zerg players in Korea, when it comes to who's going to take up that mantle of best Zerg player in South Korea, who's going to be a Solar, Rogue, or SHIN. Well, SHIN is here to claim that mantle. It's like, I'm here to step up, to fill in for Dark while we can, while I can. Let's go. And hey, as a reminder, best of 5, one more game is all he needs. Uno más, papi, uno más. And this makes sense. Clem is asking for a break. Clem is asking for a break. He's asking for a moment. Again, single elimination. He does need some time here. Needs some time to just take a breath, to regroup, to center himself, and to think about his games, think about his matches. I mean, again, SHIN, he's a very unpredictable player, especially in this matchup. Very unpredictable. SHIN, he's here to cheese Clem out of the tournament. He's here to cheese him out. Let's go. Telling you, he's doing Dark proud. And what I'm most curious by here is the vetoes. I'm not privy to them. I don't know what the vetoes are, but honestly, vetoes are going to be a big part of this. Maps specifically is what I mean, are going to be a big part of this, and I have confirmation. Okay, I have confirmation. Game 3 is on Maganatha. Oh boy, Maganatha here is the largest map of the map pool. Maganatha is known for longer macro play. Because of that, I would say that Clem should be feeling comfortable on Maganatha in a sense, just because he most likely isn't going to be cheesed out. What I will say, Maganatha would be a good map for SHIN to open up Roach and to go into Ultras again. Not the same build. If remember, we had like two base lair into Roach play, then into Infestation bit. Not the same build, but we have seen SHIN have a lot of success by opening Roach, being safe in such a way, and then rushing into Ultras. And I can see that working well. Another thing we could see on Maganatha is Muta play. We could see a more standard build into a lair, into a hidden spire, into mass Muta. That could be effective here on Maganatha. It's a little bit more niche as a build for sure, but I'm just thinking of other niche builds that we can go for. I do not expect standard play. We could see standard play, but if we had another player, but from SHIN in this series specifically, I'm not too sure, not too confident, but we'll see. The pants, they're gone, papi, they're gone. Let's go. There we go. SHIN bringing out all the tricks. Exactly. He's doing it all. He's here to knock him out of the turn. Knock out the favorite player. Let's go. As we're jumping into our next game, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Maganatha, we do have the South Korean Zerg player. We do have the red Zerg for Weaver Gaming. It is SHIN. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the French Terran player, the blue Terran representing Team Liquid, the reigning world champion. It is Clem. Here we go. And again, Clem, he's favored to win it all. He's favored to beat everyone in this tournament and win the entire thing. But SHIN, he's here to defy expectations. He's here to cause that upset. He's here to do his best dark impression and be the villain that we all need. And cheese Clem out. Let's go. Now, welcome once again to Magnatha, the largest map in the map pool. You don't get larger than Magnatha because we often see longer and later games on this map. But there are some certain things you can try to get away with here. So I'm curious to see how SHIN will make use of the map itself. I don't expect an all-in. I do expect greed though. I expect greed, and I expect faster tech because of that. But we'll see. So far, standard opener by SHIN, hatch gas pool. He does take his gas geyser, so standard opener so far. Likewise, racks expand out of Clem. Everything so far is looking normal, but our eyes need to be on SHIN, and likewise, Clem also has to keep his eyes on SHIN as well. We're all looking. We're all over this. SHIN claiming his third. To be able to afford the faster third base, SHIN, he did skip his queen, so he's only making one set of two, so only one queen in production. Interesting setup here by SHIN. 6 lings on the way. That's an extra pair of lings. Curious. As the Reaper does poke in. We'll see if SHIN invests into link speed. I would imagine he would. So there we go. We do have the second queen now on the way. Clem is checking for the third, and he should see the third base is already well underway. It's almost done at this point. Very fast third. And again, the reason why SHIN can afford the fast third is because he only made one queen. He only made one queen at the start of the game. Behind this third CC before starport, economic build out of Clem. Alright, did I even do predictions? I apologize. I think I did. You want nice snipe here. Nice snipe on the tumor. Should be a cash on that stage. It's okay. I've casted in front of an audience before. That was back in PAX Australia. Was a lot of fun. So a couple of years ago at this point. It's casting with Pidge. With El Chanchito. So Clem does poke in. So far, SHIN just saturating, just droning, nothing crazy yet. Nothing out of left field for the time being. Clem is going for 3CC into Banshee. Very safe, very standard play out of Clem. Going for his Banshee play. Same build that we saw last game. Basically, same build out of Clem 2 games in a row. Overlord scouts coming in. The Overlord will confirm that Cloak is being researched. Meanwhile, there's that Roach Warren. Now, if you remember what I said coming into this game, what I would want to see on Magnatha, what I expect to see, if you remember, I was talking about Roaches into a fast infestation bit into fast ultras. Here comes the first step. Here come the Roaches. Roach Warren's on the way. That is going to be a 420-ish lair timing. Hellions, they threaten to dive with the linked in position. And our eyes are on SHIN to see if he does decide to tech up even further. Tech up even faster. As Hellions are poking in. Banshee picks forward. Gases are being taken. As we have Clem doubling down, investing into Bio. So So by a tank, W chamber here from SHIN. Remember, he has the Roach Horn, into Roach Speed, into I imagine 1-1 upgrades. If he goes into melee initially, then we can see a fast infestation pit. Otherwise, it could just be 1-1 range to be safe and secure, then into +1 melee afterwards. Okay, we have some safety roaches on the way. Again, roach base openers are typically very safe. We got +1 carapace. Just the one upgrade so far. There we go, and +1 range. So 1-1 upgrades. Again, they should keep SHIN safe. So far as keeping up with the heli rotations. There it is! A fast infestation bit. Ah, we called it. So again, roaches into ultras. This makes the most sense on Maganatha. So roach opener into fast hive into fast ultras. This is not the same build that we saw in game 1, but this is similar when it comes to the outcome, when it comes to the end goal. And again, I do like this style, specifically on Maganatha, just because your opponent cannot be as aggressive. They cannot punish you as much. The Zerg player is safer to pull this off. Oh, we're in the mind of SHIN. Oh no, it's full of diva and waifus. God. As nice round by Lings, they do collapse in. They catch out some of the bio. Now, right now, I would say the pressure is on Clem to try to punish him. SHIN. To try to punish him and to try to break through and try to do something here about the fast hive. Hive is already on the way. And we'll see if he can break SHIN before Ultra Tech. Hellions, they poke forward. Roaches, they come in for a flank. Nice catch. Taking down 3 Hellions. Meanwhile, Clem, he's getting a 4th CC. He's got 1-1 upgrades. He has Stim. No combat shields. That's what they're pointing out. Oof. Yeah, Clem, he did forget combat shields. It happens. Happens to the best of us. Yeah, the observer really wants to zoom in on that. Really wants to point out no combat shields. Safety infestors. Safety infestors on the way. Clem don't play against any Zerg in Dallas. Maybe that's the problem. SHIN doesn't play like any other Zerg player. SHIN doesn't play like Raynor or Serral. He shares some similarities with Solar, only some. Like I mentioned before, that this build that SHIN's going for, like Solar does it sometimes as well. There's that Ultra Cavern, as you did mention. There is that Ultra Cavern. But like Raynor and Serral, they don't do this. Like they don't play this style. So far, Clem trying to keep up. So far, once again, I mean, again, the pressure's on Clem to break through. He's got to go. He's got to send it here and now. Clem is maxing out. He's built up, getting a 4th CC behind this. Pushing into the bases. Oh, the fungal! Brutal fungal! Fungal pops off, and Clem is being shut down. Ay, ay, ay. Completely shut down. Clem, he plummets in supply. Oh, God. You can see him shaking his head. Not like this. And it's not about this fight, it's about the follow-up. It's about the ultras. Kindness Plating's on the way. SHIN has momentum, catching out the army. That was a brutal fungal. Bailing's heading into the mineral line, and SHIN, he may have just done it. He may have just done it. Zoning back the army, busting into the bases. Brutal connections. We can see Clem trying to counterattack, but there are plenty of reinforcements, and ultra production has begun. Ultras are on the way. SCVs are going down left and right. Clem, he's in danger, he's in trouble. We do still have a fungal in the chamber. And Mind Shot doesn't go off. There's a fungal in the mineral line going for the SCVs. Another fungal is available on the main army. And Clem, he will clean this up, but remember what we said, this is not about this fight, it's about the follow-up, it's about the ultras that are coming, because there is no answer. There's no Ghost Academy. There's no Ghost, no Liberators. He's not ready for Ultra Tech. And that's the power of this build that SHIN is going for, is that Ultra timing. And Clem is all in. Clem is all in. Ultras are revealed. Clutch transfuse. And Clem, you cannot push onto creep. Not like this. It's not going to be easy. Yeah, he has to kite back. Has to kite off of creep. Nice kiting. Does take down the first Ultra. One Ultra goes down, but there's a sea of Zerg behind this. The swarm has arrived. And Clem going for a split push. Meanwhile, SHIN building up more upgrades. Maxing out. Now, what I will say, SHIN's biggest weakness with this build, anti-air. There's no anti-air. The anti-air is Fungals and Queens. So Clem going for drop play. I do like this. The anti-air is limited. Heads into the mineral line. SHIN is ready. Boosting into the main. SHIN out of position. SHIN is out of position. Liberator sieging up here outside of the bases. Ooh, a brutal setup here. In between the main and that triangular third base. 13 drones going down. SHIN, he's beating out a lot of workers. SHIN, right now, he wants a main fight. He wants to just push across the map. He wants to end the game. But he's stuck defending against drops, and again, he cannot deal with this. So really nice setup by Clem. Takes down 17 drones. SHIN, he had this game. He had it. I mean, SHIN is still in a better position. There we go. Knocks down the planetary. Knocks down the base. Ooh, brutal, brutal Widowmine shots. SHIN is bleeding out too much here. Fungal doesn't connect. Yeah, fumble here from SHIN. He cannot push up that ramp. It's not going to happen. Does get 34 SCV kills. But back at home, he's also losing drones. Losing a lot of workers. Again, the hatcheries are exposed. The Spire is on the way, going for the spawning pool. And we're getting chaotic. We're getting chaotic. Clem is down to 22 SCVs. Takes down the pool. No more link production. Again, SHIN having a really hard time defending. This drop play has just been so annoying. So annoying here. Taking down 35 workers in 2 bases. Now, if SHIN can stabilize, he can hold, he can survive. But remember, he lost the spawning pool. He can't build things. He cannot build Zerglings. Oh. Meanwhile, we get an okay Fungal grazing the army. Nice Biles. Biles on Liberator. SHIN, he has to try to commit in. Nice kiting here by Clem. Forced to pick up. Drop back into the natural. Likewise, oh, Clem, he does take down a base. Clem, the pressure's on. You can see him talking to himself a little bit on cams as well. He is stressed out, but honestly, he can pull this off. Like, the reality is that Clem, he has a much larger army. Takes down another expansion. SHIN, speed-wise, he just cannot keep up. Clem, he's gonna lock in. He's gotta lock in. Yeah, Liberator going for more drone kills. Late reaction out of SHIN. You see Clem just hyper fixated on the micro here, controlling as best he can. That's a kill, not a cancel. Ooh. Base goes down. Liberator does fall, drops into the main, keeps on going. And you can see the frustrations out of SHIN as well. He just wants to end it. He can't. Is this new build? No. I mean, there's a reason why we call that ahead of time. SHIN's been doing this for months. He's done this against Clem as well. As Clem kiting back. Here come the Fungals. Nice kiting. Takes down 2 Ultras. 2 Ultras going down. It's new for people that don't watch StarCraft. True. Oh. Very nice control. Taking out 1, 2, 3 Infestors. 1 Infestor barely survives. Again, Clem is just out controlling SHIN here. Fungal doesn't quite connect. There's one more Fungal. Ooh, does graze the army, but there's not enough Ultras. Yeah, Clem, he has done it. Clem, he kites back well. Kites back against the Bailings. SHIN, he's trying to chase us down. Again, SHIN, he barely has an army, barely has anything left standing. Not like this. And Clem, he's clawed his way back into this. Sims on in, takes out Roaches, Ravagers. Like, this bio army is just so efficient. So efficient here. And again, that lack of anti-air has been killing SHIN. This drop play has been crazy. Drop him back in. Then rotating over towards that northern base. The Queens are trying to keep up. Drops into the main. SHIN once again out of position. Clem floating over his main. He's maintaining his own economy. He's maintaining himself. Coming for some friendly fire. Oh, not quite. Nice on Burrow. Nice on Burrow. Likewise, SHIN not quite ready here on the right hand side either. Oof. Once again, just abusing that little ledge in between the bases. SHIN trying to keep up. We'll lose another expansion. Hatchery goes down. Oh, not the spawning pool. Not again. Not again, Pappy. Not again. Oh, the Biles. They force him out. Oh, losing a Queen. Every unit counts. Queen goes down. Mine shot. Ooh, nice quick reaction there out of SHIN. Does pull away. Finally, a medevac goes down. Not even. Barely not. Hasbroda's gonna fall. Supplies are still neck and neck. Again, army supply in favor of Clem. Worker count in favor of SHIN. And nice Fungal. Finally, 1 medevac falls. Medevac goes down. At the same time, SHIN does hit the mineral line. Ooh, Clem, he's not at home. Leading out some units. Oh. Has to be aware of friendly fire. Fungal connects. And nice chain Fungal. Locking down the army. This is still very close, very clutch. SHIN did have a very nice lead in this game, but I mean, not anymore. He's also so many bases. Lost so much of his economy. Liberator rotating over. Clem is on that 1 base. See, repositioning with the Liberator. Rotating over. Looking for a way in. Clem is set up the minefield. Now in a head-on fight, I mean, this can still go either way. It comes down to the Fungals. It comes down to the Fungals. It comes down to whether or not SHIN can lock down this army. Infestors, they're moving in. So far, just 2 Infestors, soon to be 3. They're moving out with his drop play. Gets spotted. SHIN is aware. Another best trades, but does get a couple of units. Clem, does he notice? Does he see the Burrow? Not quite. We're back. No, not here, not again. Yeah, brutal position here. Once again, dropping on that ledge. He does pick up a couple of those marauders. Oof. Files connect. Uh-oh. Files do connect. +3 armor is on the way for Clem. Meanwhile, Clem, I mean, I would say at this point is either even, if not ahead in economy. Remember, he has mules. Another CC's on the way, floating over the natural. Clem getting up to a 2 base economy. Lings, they do get a couple of SCVs. You say try to. Oh, the fungal! Oh my god, massive flanking fungal! Yeah, fungal connects. Oh, friendly fire as well. Oh my god, and one more fungal. Shin, can he go for it? Can he get it? Fungal's coming in. Oh, brutal. Oh my god, the mine shot though. Mine shot goes off. Shin, he has to retreat. Fungal raises the army. No major connection. But that's still 5 ultras. Shin going for the mineral line. File takes down the Liberator. Mine goes down as well. Does get the SCVs. 12 SCV kills. I'll say get down the base. Base gets low. The infestor gets left behind. No more infestors. Shin, he has to get the hell out of there. Clem down to 15 SCVs. 15 workers. You know, Bailings, they do finish morphing in. Shin once again going for a run by, going for a counterattack. Trying to catch out the bio. Clem racing on over. Does lock down the army at least somewhat. Oh my god. Brutal connection. Yeah, the mine shots are brutal. Shin, he has to get the hell out of here. Has to pull away. Still an organ of engagement here from Shin. Does he have a fungal? He does. There's one fungal. Here it does pull away. You can see infestation is being rebuilt. Looks like he did. Yeah, the pit did bleed out in the main. A bunch of tech went down. I think he may have lost the spawning pool as well. Yeah, come on, we're back. We're back on the ledge. Oh. Not again. Clem still has a massive army. Oh, infestor's chasing. The infestor is chasing. Likewise, drop here outside of the third. Oh, he's going for it. The fungal. Up, up. Oh my god, does land. Takes out most of the army. Yeah, nice skin up here from Shin. Drop back towards the natural. The tech is here. The hive. The Roach Warren. Likewise, some of the mining is being denied, only some. Hive is under fire. The hive doesn't really matter as much, but ooh, top right does. Yeah, gets the expansion. Yeah, Shin being punished for being active on the map. Shin, he's running out of resources. He needs another base, needs an expansion. Bleeding out too much here. The hive, now the Roach Warren as well. And from here, just picks up, keeps going, keeps dropping. Again, there's just no answer here to these drops. There hasn't been for a long time. Takes down another expansion. There was actually minerals here. Uh-oh. The drones! Transfer workers called out as well. Massive pickoffs. Shin getting caught out. Oh, the medevacs are falling though. Oh my god. Pass on the medevac. One medevac left. Medevacs are finally going down. Festers, we're out there. Another queen. Queen goes down, going for the drones. Oh, losses Shin cannot afford. Brutal losses. Again, bit of miscontrol. Dropping back in. SHIN out of position. Losing more workers. For the first time in a long time. Clem, he does take a supply lead. I think Clem's done it. Yeah, he's done it. Killing every drone. SHIN punished time and time again for moving out. And Clem's army is still terrifying. Like, the problem is that Clem, he has fresh bases. He has fresh mining bases. And he's muling. Likewise, as you can see, just the efficiency of Marine Marauder is just insane. Just hyper efficient. Now, there's still a chance for SHIN. He just has to land a fungal. If he can lock down the army with one good fungal, then he can take it. Oh, as SHIN is down to 8 drones. Yeah, down to 8 workers. There's not enough there for SHIN. Fungal coming in. Oh no, the win! Oh, brutal connection. Infestor goes down. Nice retargeting there out of Clem. Very nice retargeting. Decent fungals. But I think it's too late. Yeah, Clem, he can just tank it. He just tanked the fungals. Doesn't matter. GG gets called, and Clem, whew, he does bring it back. He does put a point on the board. GG. Whew, oh my god. A very intense game. And again, SHIN, he had a lead. SHIN had a lead. SHIN, he was ahead in that game, but it slipped through his fingers as we saw the big weakness of this style that SHIN is going for. And again, SHIN is known for this. This is a style that Clem has played against plenty of times in the past, is the anti-air. Is the lack of anti-air. That's the problem with rushing into ultras, is no hydras, no spire, no mutas, no corruptors, no nothing. Your anti-air typically is vipers, actually. Vipers and parasitic bombs. But without it, drop play just goes unimpeded. Unimpeded, uncontested. Just non-stop drop play there from our players. From Clem. And SHIN just couldn't keep up. He couldn't deal with the drops. Just could not deal with them. Could not clean up the medevacs. That's the biggest weakness of this composition, or of this style, of this build from SHIN. And with that, GG, we have a series. We have a series. We have a back and forth. And Clem, he has begun his comeback. Now, once again, biggest question, what is the next map? What is the next map? As I think our player's asking for a break, which is understandable. Which is understandable. Now again, we did, if you recall, we spoke about how Roach into Ultra would be the most effective coming into Maganatha. It's what we expected on this map. Coming into some of these other smaller maps, though, that's where we would be seeing something a little bit different. For now, though, it looks like this stream, there we go. Team feed was dying a little bit. We're back. And I think we're just going to be going on a break. It's catching up in the chat. 2 mules in the dream. That's all you need, man. That's all you need. Here we go. Our players, they did need a moment. And, oh my god. Jesus. Looks like we're going for a break. Every time. That's terrifying. So we're going to be going on a short break here. When we come back, we'll have the next game between Clem and SHIN. See you soon. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Whew. Oh boy, looks like we did have some issues. Looks like we did have a bit of a pause, but we are now back. We are now back here with our series. We're jumping into game number 4 between Clem and SHIN. It's been a very intense back and forth, and our Zurich player here is still one game away from knocking the favorite player out of the tournament. In the Wellington corner, we have the South Korean Zurich player for Weibo Gaming. It is SHIN. I don't know if they're going to do the zoom. Going hatch gas pool. There it is. And in the top right hand corner we have the French Terran player, the Blue Terran representing Team Liquid. Beginning his comeback. He has put a point on the board. Can he keep this up? Can he keep this going? It is Clem. Let's go. Let us go. SHIN versus Clem has gone the distance. There's a world out there where SHIN 3 years, to be honest. Like SHIN, he was popping off in game number 3. He was playing very well when it came to the build of choice, when it came to the fungal growths. There was so many key and insane fungal growths catching out Clem. But alas, Clem, he was able to just micro his heart out, able to just go for non-stop drop play, not just drop play, but liberate harass as well, and was able to pull SHIN apart, knocking down base after base, mineral line after mineral line, and was able to pull SHIN apart instead. GG. Crazy comeback there out of Clem. And now we're getting into game number 4, and we'll see how this story ends. We'll see if this goes the way of SHIN or if Clem can force the ace match. Now, personally, I would love an ace match. I'd love to get, regardless of how this goes, regardless if it goes the way of SHIN or Clem, I want to see a game 5, but the pressure is on. We're stepping in. We go. So now standard open out of SHIN. Now, welcome to Tokamak. Tokamak is another one of these larger maps, a larger map of the map pool, more defensive as well. Because of that, do I want to see another roach opener into Ultra? I mean, in a vacuum, yes. In a vacuum, I would say that this is a good map to open up roaches and to go and rush into Hive and rush into Ultras. This is a good map for it, but I had to but I'm not too fond of the idea of doing it twice in a row. I don't like the idea of doing it 2 games in a row. That, I think, is a little bit too greedy or risky against Clem. So we'll see. We'll see what else SHIN has in store for us. So far, SHIN, he does go for a delayed expansion. Ooh. As Reaper does get past, SHIN, he will expand on the right hand side, going for the linear third. Here we go. Hello, as Clem is mixing things up here. Do you see what I see? I see another Rax on the way. So 3cc, 3 Rax, sorry, 3cc 2-on-1, I meant to say. 3cc 2-on-1 out of Clem. Meanwhile, SHIN is link flooding. SHIN, he is link flooding across the map. Ay. Hellions. It's all about the Hellion positioning here. Now, the problem is that because Clem is going for a 2-1-1 variation, that means that the Hellion count is going to be low. It's going to be 4 Hellions at most. And with a low amount of Hellions, SHIN, he can pop off, he can end the game. He may be able to end the game here. Does move out. The Hellions, they miss the move out. Back at home, I believe this should be the last set of Hellions before going for the add-on swap. Nice to deny the tumor. The tumor is denied. Lings, they move in. Here comes the add-on swap. Oh, the wall's not a wall. The wall is open. Hellion does kite back. Boys are being pulled. SV's going to be going down so far. Good damage to the Hellions. They do get behind the workers. And we do defend. Yeah, Clem, he will defend. He will hold, but at a cost of 12 SCVs. 14 SCVs go down. Now, if Clem had lost a Hellion, if he had got surrounded, that would have been game. I should say that would have been critical damage, but Clem holds. Clem, he does hold on. The economy, though, is crippled, and he has to do some counter damage. Back at home, Queens are in position. Lings are amassing as well. Remember, only 4 Hellions because of the 2-on-1, and the strength for Clem lies in the medevac timing, but the starport is delayed. So later starport. But remember, Clem has 3 CCs, so he can make 3 workers at a time. Clem can recover. Clem moving out. SHIN, he does scan. Oh, he does move out towards the right hand side. Does avoid the main army, but there should be Marines back at home. Marines are building up. Stim is already done. I believe Shin, he did get into the main, so he's fully aware of the 2-on-1 coming his way. And he's going for roaches to survive, to defend. Things they get into the mineral line. They will deny some mining. They don't kill any SCVs. They don't kill workers. As Lings, they attempt to get away. Oh, meanwhile, a Hellbat push. Okay. Armory is being thrown down, but I'm not so certain Clem knows that roaches are coming. A Hellbat push isn't really going to be too effective. Again, that armory is for Hellbats because there's no 1-1 upgrades. So by a Hellbat push here by Clem, this is quite committed. Roaches will be out in time, though, to defend and to shut this down. As Hellbats are about to morph in. Here they come. The Queens are ready, the roaches as well, and Shin, he is set up for this. And Clem, oh, he does spot the roaches. Nice transfuse. Shin, he does hold the line. Nice splash damage on the roaches, though. But Shin, he will deflect. And from here, the game continues. So Shin, he's going to be able to enjoy a better economy for the time being. He's now taking another base. Right now, Clem is still trying to recover, still building up. Infestation bit's on the way. Now, based on this infestation bit, we should be getting 1, faster infestors, but 2, it looks like once again, I mean, the go-to style for Shin is to go into ultras. Just to head towards ultra tech. We go. So we're still just running, still just saturating. Oh, thank you, Silence Vibe. Thank you, thank you. Gracias, papi, gracias. You know what? Here come the infestors. The infestors are on the way. Again, they're here for their fungal growths. Hive is in production. Again, Hive is for those ultras. To rush into ultra tech. Again, this is very stylistic for Shin. Shin has been doing this for a very long time. So that's our step in. Clem rushing past, dropping into the main. Does threaten the drop. Doesn't quite commit. Spots the expansion. And again, it's going to be on... Hello. It's going to be on Shin here to land those fungals. As we get into +1 range. +1 melee as well. Carapace is done. Okay, the CC does force a cancel. Not bad. Does force a cancellation. There's that Ultra Cavern. Rushing into Ultras. And again, this is designed to punish a player that stays on Marine Marauder. And that, I mean, that's Clem. Clem's moving out. Infestors are ready. Does land the Fungal. Not bad. Fungal does land. Widowmine gets targeted. Nice cleanup here out of Shin. Once again, Shin's multitasking is going to be put to the test. We've already seen that if we do end up in a longer, like, more chaotic game states, then, I mean, Clem, he will lock in. He will send it. Ultras are on the way. Oh. Bit of a premature fungal. We'll zone. Nice, taking away damage. Getting 2 drone kills. Roaches are keeping up. Queens, they kill one of the medevacs. Nicely done. Oh, nice fungal. Ooh, the fungal does connect. Oh my god, medevacs go down as well. And Shin is maxed. Now it's go time. Shin, he's maxed out. Kind of splitting on the way. Ultras are amassing. Now, of course, Shin has to be wary of these drops. as he doesn't want to be forced into another base trade. Does want to lose bases as he pushes, but he has to go soon. And again, SHIN is close to breaking Clem here and now. They shot the mine shot. There's one mine shot left. Sorry, 2 mine shots even. Nice fungal, collapsing in, going for the planetary. And the planetary should go down. At the same time, drop across the map is dealt with. Baiting our mine shots, forcing friendly fire. And SHIN has done it. SHIN, he's pushing on through. He's so close to breaking Clem. Takes down the tanks. Takes down the base. Planetary falls, 19 SCVs. And from here, SHIN, he backs off. He backs off, he retreats. Oof. Please add an infestor. Ghosts have arrived. Getting into ghost production. That's going to be ideal against ultras and of course the infestors as well. But Clem, he's down a base. Not looking to contend on cams there. As things they collapse in. Oh, he's moving into minefield. Clem is holding on. And nice fight there by Clem. Does trade well. SHIN, we have to calm down. Again, Clem is on 3 bases. SHIN, he does not have to push in. He just calm down, back off, and max out first. He's gonna have to. Pulls away. And they bled out Ducklings. Again, SHIN fighting against every urge. He has to just push into the base, but now is not the time. Just gathering more energy, getting to more upgrades. Playing it slow. Does play so up. Mine shots going off. I'll pick up. Okay, nice micro there by Clem. Both armies are maxing out. Of course, Clem is more committed because he doesn't really have much of an economy. There's not much there. As mine shots are going to be going off. Oh! So far, decent reaction out of SHIN. Decent. Also, you can see that SHIN, he just threw down the wall of spines just to deal with drop play. At least just to buy time. And here we go, now moving in. Does collapse forward. That's a lot of ghosts. But he's going for the mineral line SCVs. They're going to be going down. 18 SCV kills. That's all he needs, just cripple the economy. Does not have to fight the main army. Bailings, they roll into the mineral line once again. Ooh, brutal connections, 27 SCVs. 27, 28 workers. From here, he pulls away. Pulls away, backs off. From here, time to rebuild his Ling Bane. Decent fungal. Yeah, the chain fungal, the ghost. Oh my god. Yeah, it's barely enough. And he's done it. SHIN, he breaks through the main army. I mean, I said it before when it came to the push at the 4th base, but he broke the 4th. Here, Clem hands off the keyboard. GG gets called, and SHIN, he will take the series at 3-1, advancing on to the top 4, qualifying for the Esports World Cup, and knocking the favorite player, the reigning champion, out of the tournament. Oh my god, GG, he's crazy. There it is. He's qualified for EWC. Give us the sign. Let's go. GG, well played again. He is going to be a part of the Esports World Cup. Clem, he was the favorite player to win the entire tournament. He is the best player in the world, but SHIN is one of the players that can threaten him, of course. There are players like Serral, like SHIN, like Hero, like Raynor, of course, that can threaten Clem. And SHIN, he has beaten Clem in the past. I did see someone mentioning earlier, like, oh, is this like a new style or something? No, not at all. SHIN and Clem, they've played plenty of times. Clem has played against the style before as well. There are certain strengths, there are certain weaknesses, there are certain maps where this is better on. If you remember, we spoke about Maganatha, we spoke about Tokamak as well. I was conflicted. I was talking about how this is a good map. If you remember, I said how, like, in a vacuum, I like the idea of going into, once again, Roach Ultra play on Tokamak, but I wasn't sure if it would be wise to do it 2 games in a row. Here, Clem, he had a bit of response. Remember, Clem, he was much faster to take up into Ghost, but early on, he wasn't ready for the Ling Run By. Remember, the Ling Flood did set the pace for the game. Ling Run By did actually give SHIN a nice comfortable lead early on, which allowed him to get into his 4th base, to get into his Ultra Tech, to have a stronger mid game. So again, it all kind of played into itself. The Ling Run By early on was crucial to that, and GG well played with that. Clem is out of the tournament, and SHIN will be a part of the Esports World Cup. GG well played. Whew, oh my god. Yeah, crazy result there. Crazy upset is what I will say, and I'm sure everyone else in the bracket is thankful. Like Serral, Raynor, Hero, like, whew, thank God. like, shout out to SHIN, by the way. Shout out to SHIN. Oh, no. As would have been difficult for anyone else to bring him down. But GG well played. And with that, we have 1 series left tonight. We have 1 best of 5 remaining here. Up next, after the break, and I assume there's going to be a break, is going to be Raynor versus Solar in a ZVZ. Now, if you've been watching the CranKy Ducklings, if you've been watching StarCraft as of late, you'll know this is a rematch. You'll know straight up this is a rematch. Raynor and Solar, they have played quite often, actually, in GSL. Raynor, he traveled to Korea, and GSL Season 1, which was 2 weeks ago, in the group stage, Raynor and Solar, they faced off and they traded blows. Very close, very clutch, very back and forth. For those who remember, Solar initially beat Raynor 2-1, went all the way to the ace match, did beat him 2-1, and Solar did make it to the winner's match. He got knocked down to the decider match. They had a rematch, and Raynor won 2-1 in favor of Raynor. So again, both times they played, went to the ace match, both times they played, it was very close. A lot of mind games, and on top of that, we just saw Solar go to the ace match against Serral. In this tournament, in a best of 5. In a best of 5, Solar went all the way to the ace match against Serral. Solar, he barely lost that series. But again, once again, we were hearing that there were a lot of mind games, a lot of cutting workers, a lot of aggression, a lot of all-ins between Serral and Solar. That's what we expect. And we're going to be seeing it here again as well. So this is going to be very chaotic, and I would imagine a shorter series between Solar and Raynor. I'm ready for it. We've seen them a lot here over the past couple of weeks, and now we're going to see them again. Let's go. Let us go. As from here, we are going to be going on a short break. And when we come back, we will have Raynor and Solar. They're going to be facing off. In that rematch in a best of 5. Let's go. The final series of the broadcast. See you soon after the break. Get some water, papi. Get some water. Let's go.